Have you ever stopped to consider that time, this measure that governs our lives, might be nothing more than an illusion? From a young age, we are taught to live by the clock, waiting for the future or trapped in the past. But what if I told you that time is not something absolute, but rather a construction of the human mind? Modern physics, especially with Einstein, has already shown us that time is relative. There is no universal tick-tock running the same way for everyone. Time bends, stretches, contracts. At speeds close to light, minutes can become hours or years. What we call past, present, and future may simply be a limited way our consciousness has found to organize reality. In spirituality, this idea also emerges. Ancient masters have always said that the only moment that truly exists is the now. The past is memory, the future is projection, but life only happens in this instant. When you connect to the present, you realize that time loses its grip, as if a portal opens to infinite possibilities. Neuroscience reinforces this. The brain does not differentiate something you actually live from something you vividly imagined. When you relive a memory or create a mental scene about the future, the same neural circuits light up. This means that past and future exist only within you, as mental records. Outside your mind, there is only now. And this is where quantum physics comes in. Some scientists claim that everything already exists in potential, every timeline, every possible scenario. What we call manifestation is not creating something from nothing, but choosing, with our consciousness and vibration, which reality we will collapse into the present. Time, in this sense, is merely a coordinate that allows us to experience reality linearly. Imagine time as the pages of a book. All of them are already written, from beginning to end. As you read, you go line by line, page by page. But the entire book already exists. Life is like this. Your consciousness is flipping through the pages, but every version of your story is already available. If time is an illusion, the question becomes, how do you want to use this illusion? Will you remain stuck in the past, carrying pains that exist only in your mind? Will you live anxious about a future that hasn't yet arrived? Or will you choose to be present, conscious, vibrating in the now, so the universe can reveal its infinite possibilities? The secret lies in realizing that when you let go of the tyranny of the clock and enter into coherence with the present moment, everything flows more lightly. You stop being a slave of time and become the creator of your experience. If we look at nature, we see that it is not concerned with the clock. A tree doesn't rush to grow, a flower doesn't anticipate its blooming, and a river doesn't flow while worrying about its final destination. Nature simply is, flowing in perfect harmony with the present moment. We are the only ones who fragment life into hours, days, and years, forgetting that existence unfolds outside of our artificial measures. The concept of psychological time, described by Eckhart Tolle, shows how we create suffering by living outside the present. Too much past generates guilt and resentment, while too much future generates anxiety and fear. Freeing ourselves from this mental prison means returning to the original state of presence, where life is lived with clarity, lightness, and intensity. Curiously, when we enter altered states of consciousness, deep meditation, mystical experiences, or even moments of creative inspiration, our perception of time changes. Sometimes minutes feel like hours, other times, hours feel like seconds. This shows that time is not fixed, but elastic, shaped by the quality of our attention and inner state. Science has already proven this with the concept of subjective time dilation. When we are in danger, for example, the brain processes so much information in fractions of a second that we feel time has slowed down. In other words, our mind can manipulate time according to lived experience. From a spiritual point of view, many traditions describe eternity not as infinite time, but as the absence of time. It is a state of pure consciousness, where the self is not bound to yesterday or tomorrow, but to the totality of now. This is the experience described by monks, yogis, and mystics throughout history, a place outside time where everything simply exists. When we understand time as an illusion, we begin to see life as an eternal present in constant transformation. Each moment is a portal to access new possibilities, and each choice we make here and now has the power to reshape our entire timeline. This understanding frees us. We no longer need to chase the future or try to repair the past. We can simply act in the present, knowing that this is where the power lies. The future is created now, and the past is redefined now. Time loses its rigidity and becomes an ally of consciousness. Therefore, living the illusion of time consciously means living more fully, more presently, and more creatively. It means realizing that the now is not a tiny fraction between two extremes, but the totality of life unfolding. And when we awaken to this, we become true co-creators of reality. Many philosophers have also questioned the nature of time. St. Augustine said he knew what time was until someone asked him, because when he tried to explain it, the concept dissolved. This reflection shows that time escapes our definitions and may simply be a reflection of consciousness trying to organize the experience of existence. Quantum mechanics suggests that events may happen non-linearly. Experiments like the quantum eraser indicate that choices made in the present seem to influence the past at the subatomic level. This completely challenges the classical view of time and opens the door to understanding that reality may be far more flexible than we imagine. From a practical perspective, how we perceive time directly affects our quality of life. People who are always rushing, always without time, constantly trigger stress, releasing excess cortisol. Those who can connect to the present tend to experience more calm, mental clarity, and even better results in their projects and relationships. Another fascinating aspect is how different cultures perceive time. Western societies view time as linear, past, present, and future in a straight line. But Eastern or indigenous cultures see time as cyclical, in spirals or wheels, where everything returns in different forms. These perspectives show that even our perception of time is shaped by collective beliefs. At its core, understanding the illusion of time is an invitation to freedom. When you realize you are not a prisoner of yesterday nor a hostage of tomorrow, you can choose to live with more awareness, gratitude, and presence. This simple shift in perspective opens the door to miracles, synchronicities, and new possibilities that were once hidden by the rush of the mind. If this message resonated with you, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to understand that time is not an enemy, but merely an illusion. The now is all you have, and within it, you can create infinity.